Welcome to Tagged Beyond the Award, the podcast that celebrates innovation, excellence, and leadership. Each episode dives into inspiring stories behind the nominees and winners of the TAG Awards, uncovering the breakthroughs, challenges, and triumphs that define their journey. Whether it's cutting-edge technology, transformative products, or visionary leadership, we're here to explore what it means to stand out and shape the future of your industry. Let's go beyond the award and into the heart of innovation. Here's your host, Justin Starbird.
Welcome back to Tagged Beyond the Award. I think this is my most exciting time of the year, my favorite time of the year, because I get to welcome all of the TAG Award winners from the previous, from our recent award platform. And today is nothing short of incredible to get the opportunity to speak with Dr. Raj Nihalani from Aqua Medical. Raj, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Justin, for having me. Appreciate it.
It's exciting. I know you mentioned that you don't get to do these sorts of things often, but with everything that you've started to accomplish within Aqua Medical and specifically your most recent TAG Award winner, the Radiofrequency Vapor Ablation Platform, congratulations as first.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, and thanks to the committee that you have developed that offered this TAG Award. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, we're keen on them as well. We really we really like our judges, but they went above and beyond and sharing some of their thoughts, and that this win feels bigger than any single product because of what you're able to do. For those that are not familiar, share a little bit more about Aqua Medical.
So Aqua Medical we are obviously a medical device young startup, and we are focused on addressing one of the largest and the most economically burdensome healthcare challenge in metabolic disease, which is type 2 diabetes. And our platform is centered around minimally invasive endoscopic approach to address a underlying dysfunction that is associated with the mucosal lining of our small bowel. And this small bowel plays a critical role in the metabolic signaling of could be connected with the type 2 diabetes. So basically the signaling that does absorption of glucose and fat in our body. And so we offer as a treatment modality therapeutic steam. And this is an energy modality that has been used in the medicine, in the practice of medicine for many years very safely. And what we've done is we've taken this steam modality and used RF vapor ablation, and that can be delivered directly through the working channel of a therapeutic endoscope. And this is very important to pass it through a therapeutic endoscope because the GI doctors can deliver it as far as the endoscope can take it. So it's easy to navigate, and we can offer with our controlled steam algorithms to control the steam that we offer to these mucosal areas and ablate that. And this procedure is called as proximal intestinal mucosal ablation. And the ultimate goal is to redefine this metabolic care because and make it more scalable, make it less invasive, and give it in the hands of most GI doctors, and just help with the long-term metabolic outcome for diabetes.
Which then...
So sorry, it was a long...
No, that's great. I mean, you just answered the next 4 of my questions. So now you're really putting me on the spot here, Raj, to come up with better ones for you.
Sure.
But you make a couple of really good points by being able to use it in existing procedures. The idea and the ability for adoption goes up. And because it's minimally invasive, it takes the recovery time way down, right?
Correct. And so this is the key part, correct? I mean, there are other innovations, and I don't know how to explain this to you, but I'm just going to use it. So imagine this as an endoscope, passing the device through the therapeutic endoscope into the lumen of the GI tract is different from alongside. So imagine this was the endoscope, and alongside the endoscope to navigate through this to the mouth is going to be very hurdlesome. And so you can't get too far. So, and the mucosal lining goes as far as it goes, in the sense the intestinal lining is very long. So the goal here is to go approach this with a very definitive small profile device, minimally invasive, go as far as you can, and then treat it.
So let me ask a dumb question. It seems not obvious that this can be done, but that it would be really helpful if this had been thought of before. Why wasn't it, why hasn't this been introduced prior to now?
Yeah, so first of all, there is no commercially available product in this area. So I think what happens is this is a new concept of going in and treating the mucosal lining is a newer concept, and we are starting to learn this more as we move further in this space. And so through the scope, technology is critical. But say, for example, when it was first approached, it was approached by clinicians, academic clinicians, who said, hey, I would rather have a solution, and they were trying to figure it out. But they didn't think about going through the endoscope. This is where I think the genre of people who have been in the industry can appreciate, because we understand adoption in the scope. So anybody can invent, but then there are a certain genre of folks who understand in the medtech sector. You got to spend the time to understand what will be the technology that can be democratized, correct? That can be offered to a general doc, a GI guy who can then adopt, correct, and use it. And it should be scalable. And think about the healthcare situation today. The cost of healthcare at the hospital has gone so high,
Yeah.
that people want to take this any treatments to an ambulatory center, take it away from the hospital, so the cost of the hospital is lowered. Correct. So what will be offered at the ambulatory centers is the least invasive technologies, things that can be done easily by any GI guy. Correct. And that's the scalability that we had in mind before we went into this innovation.
Well, you and I are on the same wavelength, because my next question was going to be about the ambition of practical application and adoption, and how to rethink that for medical devices that historically had been so invasive. And so I guess you answered part of that. To continue with it a little bit, how does Aqua think about innovation internally, and especially when it's introducing new therapeutic approaches like you have here? What went into thinking through the existing clinical workflows to come up with this?
Yeah, so look, I think um, what is very important is, when you're defining what the technology is going to do, what is the platform going to do, correct? So from that perspective, we made it, surely we wanted to be differentiated in at least few ways. And say the first three that come to my mind is we needed to be, like I said, through the scope, not alongside the scope, and that gives you more flexibility, navigation advantage. Second, I think is longer segments. Like I said, mucosal lining covers a longer segment. We wanted to go further. So I have a mantra in my team, with my team, that I say, if you can scope it, you can treat it. Okay, so that we have kind of started to use as our slogan, our clinical slogan. that if you can scope it, you will be able to treat it. And the third part is, if you have alongside, like our other folks who have been developing alongside the scope, you need X-ray vision, or you need visibility through a fluoroscopic guidance or X-ray, and that makes adoption much more difficult. So we wanted to stay away from that. So by doing through the scope, the endoscope, the therapeutic endoscope is already has the camera which can guide you, so you don't need other you know guidances like fluoroscopy or X-ray to kind of. So these are very important steps from adoption perspective, and still everybody, like I call it, it's in the early innings of this game, and the one that will succeed will have a combination of clinical safety, clinical relevance, procedural easiness, and then who adopts it and how far you can take this adoption.
Yeah. I love the baseball analogy because, you know, in those early innings, it's still anybody's game. Even when, there's been a lot of runs scored, often there's still an opportunity for the other team to catch up. So, thinking through that and the way that you come up with this new solution, were there moments early in the game where you were like, man, I don't know if this is going to work?
Yeah, and so see, the biggest deal when a technology is formed is when you take it from the lab, and not lab, but you're doing the experiments and you're moving further, and you're taking this from the concept to proof of concept in the lab to clinical side, correct? And if you think of medical device innovations, this is where the rubber hits the road, or you can say this is where the friction happens, correct? And if you think of it, that is our biggest friction. And during that time, there were few critiques that would say, what do you think about they misunderstood the concept of therapeutic steam to thermal injury. And so when those questions came, then it became like, how do we kind of make that query, because it's coming from a clinical expert, correct? So what we did is we actually went through a very, very smart way to kind of use those moments to cautiously kind of define in a very disciplined way, make it data driven, and a strong operating framework to redefine all these things. Where is this? How do we take this, rather than being emotional about it and taking that step? We cautiously incorporated all the physician feedback, all the clinical insight we could get, and then we refined everything. We refined the procedural learnings and our development process and all this iterative thing. So in a way, it helped us. And this iterative procedure, what did it do for us? We came up with a highly differentiated product. We came up with a product that gave us a well-controlled, algorithm-driven steam therapy, which we now call it as the RF Vapor Mucosal Ablation System platform, and then absolutely delivered this through the channel, the therapeutic channel, working channel. And this iteration helped us because we were able to make it even more robust, highly differentiated, proprietary. So we made these criticisms, like you said, these hurdles actually reinforced our technology so much so, like this looking back, all this was very useful for us.
We are continuing our conversation with Dr. Raj Nihalani from Aqua Medical, and you just mentioned, overcoming challenges and what went into those. I'll bring up our judges for just a second because not only was Aqua Medical and this, the radio frequency vapor ablation system recognized for its novelty and being, unique to the marketplace today. It's also recognized for its real world potential impact. And you mentioned the criticisms, but there was also a lot of milestones along the way and decisions that helped move the platform forward from idea to adding technology and gaining industry attention and then clinical momentum to being able to use it. Share a little bit more about that side of things, the good news that you got from the clinicians and the doctors using it.
Yeah, so thanks for this tag awards again. And then we this was a very good timing for us because we went into DDW with a amazing body of data that showcased a long-term kind of clinical relevance with a very good HbA1c drop, which is a biomarker for type 2 diabetes. So these milestones have kind of helped us get through a lot of skepticism that people had in this space. And so now people are happy that this technology can be at the forefront. The biggest factor is, like I said, through the endoscope. And, we are very happy to kind of deliver this clinical milestones in a very meaningful way. And I think the physician engagement becomes stronger when you have these clinical milestones accomplished, and it looks stronger. And like I said, we have approached this so holistically: clinical, regulatory planning, all the reimbursement thinking, procedural workflow, all the commercialization pathways that might be needed to be considered. And so this is a conglomeration of the teamwork, our executives who have been there, done that type of the leadership that is out there. So it is kind of all comes together. It cannot be done one step at a time. It has to be thought out simultaneously, and that's the beauty of the med tech startups that we are in.
Yeah. Well, you are recognized as, TAG Award stands for technology, achievement, and growth. And clearly you've hit on all three of those things. And our judges absolutely got it right. You were a winner in the medical device category for Endoscopic Therapeutic Innovation. What does that mean to you, as a leader of this company, and especially given how competitive and, clinically rigorous this space is overall?
So from our perspective, it is very we accept this with great humility, because look, I think what it means to our team, any award will give us a lot of visibility, viability, strategic look at us in a different fashion. I think for us it's very important that our clinical milestones become so strong that the physicians can see that our vision of how we want to democratize this. We have dummified this treatment so much that if I get a chance to show you in this kind of pulling up a catheter, if I can kind of show you the catheter, how simplistic this can be. It is unbelievable how it's a pretty long catheter, if I can show you this, but because it has to navigate through the GI tract. But this is a very simplistic catheter. It's a push and pull catheter, and you'll appreciate this. I'm convoluting this because this gives you a good opportunity. When you don't have a glove, so I'm going to use a napkin here to kind of just show you the push and pull. So if you can just assume this, and can you see how the cage just opens up? This is how simple it is. It's a push and it's a pull. It's a push and a pull. So you push, you advance it further, deliver the steam, and then pull back and push it further and deliver the steam through a pedal. So just stepping on the pedal. So this has been dummified so much that anybody in the GI space can use it, and it's not restricted to advanced endoscopists that have to use multiple things to pass through. So these type of things are very validatory. So these type of awards, these type of recognitions, the clinical impact that are showcasing the patients who are then saying, "Hey, lovely, this has helped me." There have been a 12-month data where we have eliminated the use of insulin. So patients who were on insulin, they have it has been eliminated for 12 months now, and without adding any GLP-1 drugs to them. So this is a strong clinical impact that helps patients, and so we are very happy about that. This technology, let you know, that is still investigational. We are not FDA approved, and it's not commercially available for us, as a disclaimer. But nevertheless, we see this outside US. We see this clinical result, and it's very satisfying for us. And so we keep going, keep moving forward. We want to kind of utilize all these recognitions and if you think of attention we got at the DDW from the key opinion leaders who were lining up to say, "Hey, when are you going to start your pivotal trial?" And so that was very interesting because that validates for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're happy to be a small part of this journey with you, and can certainly see the potential that it has to, help with type 2 diabetes. And you've mentioned also looking at this as an opportunity to create a whole platform to help with other things too. You mentioned that if you can scope it, then you can then you can solve it. Talk a little bit more about that approach to innovation. What's in the product pipeline?
So we are FDA cleared, which is the FDA has cleared us for another indication, which is called as the Barrett's esophagus, which is a precancerous condition. And so we have that, and that was actually our initial portion of treatment to go for. But then we realized that this could benefit, this ablation, this vapor ablation could really help us treat patients with type 2 diabetes. So we extended that technology, but we are actually FDA cleared to treat Barrett's esophagus, which is a strong need. And currently, the treatments that are used for Barrett's esophagus is the same. It's alongside the scope. And so we think we have a slight advantage when we go through the scope and treat it precisely. But our focus continues to stay on type 2 diabetes because that is a very large unmet need, and we would like to stick to that.
It sounds like you have some potential future
focus.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you also have some potential future nominees.
But we are very focused on, currently we are very focused on trying to bring this as quickly to clinical trials and quickly to market.
Yeah. Well, I think we're looking forward to next year's winners, right? Like we'll bring you back on for the show, Raj. This will be great.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll get you out of here on this. What are you most looking forward to in the next 6 to 12 months?
So we are a startup company. We are constantly raising capital, and there is no interview without mentioning that for a startup, right? So we are clinical stage. We are growing. We are wanting to do more clinical trials and showcase the data further. And these are capital intensive. So we are raising some capital for that. And certainly this helps, like I said, these TAG awards did help because, we got attention from the strategic. We're looking at investors look at it with more positive lens. And so for now, we are starting to explore. We are currently in our pilot study in the United States. So we are starting to recruit patients for that. We are starting to get interest from physicians around the world, and we are focused on the U.S. physicians to kind of come in and line up for our pivotal trial. So we are starting to prep for that. And then we are also looking from strategic partnerships to kind of explore our portion of the Barrett's esophagus platform, if they can participate in that and try to help us in trying to take that to commercial level. So that is available as well.
It's awesome. It sounds like there's a lot on the horizon and a lot to look forward to. Certainly still a lot of work to do, though.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Raj, I really appreciate you joining me, peeling back the
Yeah.
curtain and talking a little bit more of about what goes into winning a
Yeah.
TAG award and what you guys have done. So congratulations again. We're so happy for you.
Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated.
On behalf of my guest today, Dr. Raj Nihalani from Aqua Medical, you've been watching and hopefully listening to Tagged Beyond the Awards. Until next time.
On behalf of our guest today and host Justin Starbird, thank you for listening to Tagged Beyond the Award. We hope you've been inspired by the stories of innovation and leadership shared today. Don't forget to subscribe and join us for more incredible journeys behind the breakthroughs. If you or someone you know is leading the way in innovation, visit tagawards.co to learn more about how to get involved. Until next time, stay driven, keep innovating, and keep reaching for excellence.